As you all know, Star Wars Episode VII is heading to AMC theaters everywhere in 2015, and director of the new film, J.J. Abrams, was recently asked about the direction the new movie will be going, in which he replied with the following: "I remember reading a thing somewhere someone wrote about wanting the new film to feel real, to feel authentic. I remember how I felt when I was 11 years old and saw the first one. As much as a fairy tale as it felt real, and to me that is exactly right. I would say we are working really hard to make a movie that feels as emotional and authentic and exciting as possible." So John, what do you think about J.J. Abrams' statements?
I love what he's saying. I really do. Especially when he starts talking about we're going for something that is emotional and authentic. Now, these are really weird sounding terms, admittedly, when you're talking about Star Wars, a big space opera, right? But think about this for a second. Now, I go off all the time, and I get some people very angry. I mean, John, you're always trashing on the prequels. Yeah, I know I do. But let's talk just straight for a second here. When you watch the original Star Wars, there is something about Darth Vader. Now, this is just one example, right? Talking about the emotional aspect of it and the authenticity. That Darth Vader always just gave you, as a film goer, a sense of dread and fear. There was something ominous that just filled the theater when you were watching him, whether you were watching it back in the original days or watching it when it was re-released in theaters a number of years ago. There is just something so emotional and authentic about that villain and that screen presence. There was a hint of that with Darth Maul, but when you got into the other villain, when you look at the prequels, whether you're talking about the Emperor, no sense of dread, no sense of ominous, anything about that he ever brought. Whether it was... I'm forgetting the general's name, the 8-armed robotic android general, whatever. There is nothing. Dooku was, hey man, that's Christopher Lee, man. He's cool, but you never see the villain. You never feel that ominous threat. And that is just indicative, I think, of the overall stuff about prequels compared to the originals, that there wasn't that real emotional element that ever felt real. There wasn't that authenticity. And I think I really like hearing JJ say that that's what he wants to go for. He wants to reestablish that back into the Star Wars universe. Now, just because he says he wants to go for it doesn't mean it's going to work. It doesn't mean he'll do it right. But at least we know, I believe, he's pointing us in the right direction. So I'm encouraged to hear JJ's words, actually.
I agree with you about what you said about the villains, though, because I think that the difference between Darth Maul and Darth Vader is Darth Vader's a villain, Darth Maul is a Halloween costume.
And, you know, Maul almost worked. I thought there were good... Maul was one of the best things about, I thought, the prequels. They let him go too soon. Anyway, I'm not going to go off. I'm not going to start bagging on the prequels again. I'm going to...
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.